Hi, it's Chris and Ron from SportsChatPlace.com here with your Week 6 predictions and picks from the NFL. Ron, like we said it with the college football, the NFL is also just flying by the season. We're already a month and a half into the season. Thankfully, though, the NFL got it right and gave us an extra week of football this year, cut out a week of preseason to kind of make up for that.
Yeah, I can't believe we're week six already. It's been a great NFL season, and yeah, like you said, I'm super happy we got that extra game, week 18 this week, and the playoffs have that extra spot as well. So, yeah, it should be a great end to the NFL season. Still plenty of way to go, and a really nice card this week.
As well as a Monday night wild card game. I can't. That's another thing I can't wait for. Give me extra primetime football. I'm good with that. But we're going to start here. We're going to take a look at, speaking of primetime, team was in primetime last week. Kansas City Chiefs looking to bounce back, going on the road, taking on Washington. Chiefs laying 6.5 on the road against the Washington football team. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, I think a lot of people expect this one to be a shootout, and you can see that in the total for this one of the steeper totals of the week. But I think we're going to see a similar game to what we saw the Chiefs put on with the Eagles a few weeks back. I think the Chiefs' offense is just going to be too much to handle. And I know Washington, they've been able to score some points as of late, and then they had that shootout win against the Falcons. And last week put up 22 against a good Saints defense. But, Washington's defense, it's not nearly as good as it was last year. 31 points per game they're allowing, over 400 yards of offense. That's near the bottom of the league in terms of defense. So I think the Chiefs' offense is going to be just too much, and I think obviously the Chiefs have a lot of issues on their defensive side, the secondary especially, but I do think they do enough to win this game, and I think they win it going away. So I'll lay the points with the Chiefs. Not my favorite game, but that's where I'm leaning.
I'm. This is not often that Ron and I do this, but you got to strap your helmet on, put your chin strap on, because we're going head to head in this one. I just looked at Washington only because the Chiefs, not only are they a poor cover team, I was watching, they are a poor tackling team in spots, and a lot of the arm tackling that I saw from the Kansas City Chiefs in that Buffalo game, a lot of blown coverage. And while I'm not saying that Taylor Heineke's going to be the team or the quarterback to beat this Kansas City defensive unit, I do like what I'm seeing from Antonio Gibson, and just one of the more underrated running backs in the league, and one of the more under the radar running backs, if there is such a thing. But this to me is just a game that I could see. It's just one of those things where you just get a garbage touchdown or let me see, Kansas City up by 10, Washington up by 9. Washington's got to get 2 scores one way or another. They kick the cheap field goal to try to get themselves within the number. You know what I mean? So that's just where I was leaning at with that. Definitely not my favorite game on the board though. So one of those ones that we'll just have to take a wait and see approach. Maybe Ron and I can bet a Coke on it or something. But either way, we're going to take a look at the next one. We're going to the NFC North, one of the fiercest rivalries in the NFL. The Green Bay Packers paying a visit to the Chicago Bears. Green Bay laying 4.5 on the road in this spot.
Yeah, the Bears, they've been playing really well, and Justin Fields, he hasn't been lighting up the stat sheet, but he hasn't. He's been leading his team to victories back-to-back weeks now. So that's exactly what they're looking for out of him, and so far, obviously he'll have a bigger role in that passing game as his career moves on. But this is a Packers team. They took a close one at Cincinnati last week. Both kickers missing field goals left and right because of that wind in Cincinnati. But I'm still a little bit worried about that Packer defense. We know, like Chris said, this is one of the fiercest rivalries in the NFL, let alone the NFC North. And I think that this one's just too many points to be laying on the road. I think the Bears have a good shot at winning this game outright, but I'll take the points just in case with the home team.
Yeah, Ron's on the weekends with myself, and we're on the weekend football shows. And I said I talked about the Bears last week. I said I had no problem being in a Speedo with a drink on my hand on the island with the Chicago Bears, because I seem to be by myself. And now everybody's starting to catch on. Ron was probably already there with me, and I just didn't see him on the island. But you're starting to see what Justin Fields can do with Bill Lazor as an offensive coordinator, not relying on Matt Nagy to call the plays for him. Because Bill Lazor started to really try to give Fields some protection with 6 and 7 man protections, and it worked. And now look at them. Now they're going to take on the Green Bay Packers, who, by all intents and purposes, probably should have lost that game to Cincinnati last week, and that was just simply an emotional high. And I think the Bears, the Bears send the Packers crashing down here. I'm not saying they win it outright, but I could see another field goal game here. points with a home dog in a division rivalry game. Simply put, I think that's one of the best angles that we have as bettors, and that's where I'm riding with this one. I'm gonna be with Ron on the Chicago Bears in this one. But now we shift to the 4 o'clock slots. Again, we've got the LA Chargers in a marquee spot against the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, not the Chargers. I left the wrong nameplate up here. The Arizona Cardinals against the Cleveland Browns. Excuse me, made a bad mistake there. I'm probably going to hear about that in the comments section. But either way, Arizona paying a visit to Cleveland. Cleveland laying 3 points at home. On total set at 49.5.
Yeah, I mean, in that Browns-Chargers game, the Browns, as most of you may know, first team to lose a game in which they scored 40-plus points and had no turnovers in NFL history. So a crazy game last week. That was an entertaining one. But this Browns run game is elite, and at home, you're going to have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. They're going to do a ton of damage on a Cardinals team. I know they're undefeated, but look at their run defense. It's gotten murdered this season, allowing more than 5 yards per carry on the year. I think the Browns are just going to be able to run the ball all over the place in this one. And I know Baker Mayfield's been a little bit inconsistent. I think he's a little banged up as well. I don't think he needs to do much in this one. I think the Browns are going to rely on the best offensive line in football and the best run game in football. I think their defense bounces back from a bad performance last week. And I think the Browns earn a win at home and cover. And the Cardinals earn their first loss of the season.
Yeah, I simply put, I just see, I don't want to say a repeat where we see, what was it, 89 points like we saw last week, but I do see us going well over 49. I see this line's already dropped 4.5 points, and I just think that's too far. I think it's too far gone at this point. I think you could easily see a 27-24 game, whichever way you slice it, but again, I just see this being two dynamic offenses, and like Ron said, the Cardinals maybe get gashed here by Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and we all know that Kyler Murray can put up points in bunches on his own right. So definitely looking at 49.5. Like I said, I think this line has just been moved way too far off of that initial number of 54. But now we're gonna try to see if I can get this last game right. We're gonna move to, I hope so, because it's the Patriots and it's my team. But we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New England Patriots. Dallas looking to continue their unbeaten against the spread run, 5-0 against the number this year. Laying 3.5 on the road at Foxborough. Ron, what do you think's going to happen?
This was a tough one for me to talk about because the Cowboys, like you mentioned, 5-0 against the spread, and I've gotten burned. I bet against them almost every week it seems, and I've lost every week on fading the Cowboys. But I'm going to do it again. I'm too far gone. I got to take the Patriots here. I just think this is a great spot to take the home dog. A very similar spot to what we saw a couple of weeks ago when the Patriots were home dogs against the Bucs. I think this is a field goal game either way. New England's very good against the spread under Bill Belichick at home. And Mac Jones, he's starting to look like that future franchise QB more and more each week. I know the defense for New England was, it's very talented. I know it let last week's game get out of hand a bit against the Texans, but I don't think that's strange performance is going to fool me into thinking it's not talented. I think the Patriots keep this one close, and I think it's going to be decided by a field goal. So I'll take the points with New England.
Well, Ron's already 1-0 against me in Patriots games this season, so maybe I should listen. But I'm also a glutton for punishment here, and maybe Ron's gonna be sharp Steve here, but I'm gonna be public Pete. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. Simply put, it's just one of those things where I didn't like what I saw from the Patriots against the Texans, and the Dallas Cowboys. Say what you want about getting fortunate bounces and. Well, you never want to say injuries are fortunate. Getting a fortunate situation where the Giants last week lost Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley in the span of minutes. Simply put, maybe just the football gods are finally smiling down on the Dallas Cowboys after having to deal with all the crap they dealt with last year. And this just feels like a game where the Cowboys win by 4. To me, I don't know. It feels like the line is right on. As Ron said, it's a field goal game. I can see a 4-point win for the Cowboys. 3.5. It just seems right, and I would say this: if you're a fan of the game, watch this one. If you really feel the need to bet it, well, you do what you will. But I
take the Patriots.
Yeah, take that. Well, there you go. Or take the Cowboys. Probably. Okay, I will say this. I know I'm rambling. The fan in me says take the Patriots. The better in me says take the Cowboys. So either way, I'm going rule of happiness on this one on my own. But Ron. Of the 4 plays here, I know I did this to you last week. I'm going to do it to you again. What's your favorite play on the board of the 4 you gave out?
Man, this is a good NFL card this week. I'm going to have to go with 2 games. I think I like the Browns and the Patriots. I would do a 2-team parlay there, laying the points with the Browns and then taking the points with the Patriots.
Well, just because I don't want to conflict, I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. I just think that I think it is a spot where you're going to see a division rivalry and just play true to form. Neither team's going to want to give up an inch, and well, you're going to see more protection of Justin Fields, especially potentially nursing an injury. I think it's just all the more reason for the Bears to protect their franchise quarterback. So I'm going to take the Bears and the points in that one. But anyways, that's our Week 6 coverage of the NFL. Definitely check out all the write-ups we have at sportschatplace.com. Got plenty of content coming up as well. If you're looking for premium picks, well, you can find those of Ron's and myself over at Sports Chat Place, as well as top picks from some of the other top handicappers in the world. And if you're looking for more free picks, well, we have our morning show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we got the drive-through Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ron, thank you again for joining me. Everybody, thank you for watching, and have a good weekend. Let's get some winners.